Social studies is one of my favorite subjects. It is the study of our life and ways of living. Social studies is the reason we celebrate and recognize our past from a multitude of diverse lenses. Social studies recognizes the diversity in the classroom, both from a cultural and learning standpoint. It allows our students to gain the knowledge and skills to become active and responsible citizens in society. When thinking about the social studies teacher I want to be, I first look to the Ministry of Education Ontario Social Studies curriculum. Here we can see the vision for social studies is to enable students to become critically thoughtful and informed citizens who value an inclusive society. Students can realize the vision for the program as they develop the ability to use the concepts of disciplinary thinking to investigate issues, events, and developments. They can also develop skills and personal attributes that are needed for discipline, specific inquiry that can be transferred to other areas of life, as well as build collaborative and cooperative working relationships. The specific goals of the grade 1 to 6 social studies program is to develop a sense of who am I and who are we. In social studies, students work towards developing an understanding of responsible citizenship. They come to understand the diversity within local, national, and global communities, both past and present. And they develop an understanding of interrelationships within and between the natural environment and human communities. So how can we as teachers achieve such goals? By connecting the pieces. When developing our lessons, we should refer to the goals, vision, and citizenship framework. More specifically, to develop the best lesson for my students, I need to look at the big ideas, framing questions, overall expectations, and specific expectations. Providing a lesson with these aspects ensures my students can develop an understanding in becoming a responsible and active citizen. The Citizenship Education Framework has 4 parts. My responsibility as a teacher is to encourage active participation, as well as a sense of personal identity as a member of various communities. Also, to develop and demonstrate attributes such as character traits, values, and habits of mind, and to develop an understanding of structures, specifically power and systems within society. As a teacher candidate, I need to reflect and think about the type of teacher I will be when delivering the content and knowledge provided by the Ontario curriculum. The inquiry process is a powerful approach. It allows students to take control and have ownership of their learning. In the inquiry process, students formulate questions, they gather and organize relevant data and/or evidence, interpret and analyze the data, evaluate and draw conclusions, and then communicate their judgments, conclusions, and predictions to the class. The Ontario Social Studies Teachers Association, also known as OESTA, also supports an inquiry approach and adds, the inquiry process keeps students engaged by taking a student-focused approach and by tapping into their creativity. It allows the teacher to take a step back and guide the learning rather than dictate it. How we as teachers set up our classroom could affect the inquiry process. OESTA believes we need to consider having an efficient workspace that has more space to allow for a collaborative and welcoming environment. Our classroom should also allow flex seating and include workstations. We as teachers should include technology and have resources such as computers and iPads and relevant books in the classroom that the students are interested in to further fuel their learning. During my first block, I was placed in a grade 3 classroom. As you can see from the photos, the teacher had a great setup. Similar to OESTA's recommendations, there is plenty of workspace for the students to collaborate. The classroom is also organized and offers flex seating, such as the coffee lounge area with the whiteboard and a couch. My future classroom will incorporate similar features. As you can see, there is a large area rug for the class to come together and pair share their thoughts and present their learning. There are also multiple flex workstations for the students to gather around to collaborate, including the area with the whiteboard. The brown lines along the edges of the paper represent bulletin boards to display the students' amazing work, further fostering their creativity and ownership, as well as there are organized shelving and designated areas that would house relevant social studies materials, such as clothing, photos, books, objects, and artifacts. I think this space would encourage critical and collaborative thinking as the students engage in the inquiry process. This classroom setting is geared towards a student-centered approach. Referring back to page 8, connecting the pieces in the Ministry of Education document, when planning my unit, I need to look at the framing questions, overall expectations, and specific expectations. The framing questions for grade 3, strand A include, in what ways are our lives similar to and different from the lives of the people in the past, and what methods can we use to find out about the challenges faced by people in the past? The inquiry piece to this unit, A2, focuses on the concept's significance and cause and consequence. Here, students investigate some of the major challenges that different groups and communities faced in Canada around 1780 to 1850. This next clip is an example of my experience as a social studies student in elementary school. As you'll be able to see, we did not have engaging nor inquiry-based activities. Hello class, and welcome back to Social Studies. Today we will be continuing our discussion from last class on the pioneers. I would like us to read this book report and then answer the following questions on the back. When you are finished, you may hand them in to me and then you read the book. Everyone understand? Great. The next clip will provide an insight into the social studies teacher I want to be. I will strive to provide my students with hands-on and engaging student-centered activities to guide their learning. Hello and welcome back, my grade 3 friends. How are you doing? Amazing. Alright, as we get to our groups, you may choose who you would like to sit with. Please choose someone who you know you're going to be working respectfully with. I have left some things on the desk and I would like you to consider a couple of things while we look at them, feel them, touch them. I'd like you to think about possibly who used these, when they were used, so was it current, was it in the past, if it was in the past, how long ago, and what it could possibly have been used for. Okay, so while we're at our groups, I would like you to discuss and share our thoughts about that. Finally, I think a fun activity or cumulative assignment could be for groups of students to formulate a question and research a challenge people and communities had in the past. Next, the students could write and put on a skit of their chosen challenge. Not only are the students following an inquiry approach, but this activity also allows a creative and collaborative twist while providing ownership of the students' learning. This activity can also be cross-curricular with language, specifically oral presentations, as well as drama and dance. Furthermore, this activity also allows as and of learning assessment. As learning could come from peer feedback after their skits, whereas of learning will be assessed by the teacher based off the success criteria for the assignment. This concludes my social studies philosophy. Throughout this video, I have discussed connecting the pieces, the citizenship framework, as well as the inquiry process. I have focused on the inquiry process and how my teaching philosophy and future lessons will incorporate this model. I want to make social studies fun and engaging for my future students to help them become responsible and active citizens in society. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.